Spaghetti!
Howdy folks, it's plaid sofa time once again, but before we begin, one very important note. I realize that there's probably going to be some nitpicks out there that give me a hard time because even though this video is called Dollar Store Spaghetti, the pasta that I'm using isn't technically spaghetti. And I realize I'm pandering to pooled ignorance in society where people see any kind of pasta at all and they're like, hey look, spaghetti! And it's kind of similar to the whole thing with if you have any Italian or Sicilian relatives like I do, the whole sauce versus gravy thing, where if the stuff you put on your pasta has any amount of meat in it, it's gravy, otherwise it's sauce, blah blah blah, that stuff. I'm not here to be like a food connoisseur or 100% correct about everything, so, you know, let's just leave it at the simple fact that dollar store spaghetti sounds cooler than dollar store pasta. Ha! There. Anywho. All incorrect labeling aside, let's take a look at what we have to work with here. As I said earlier, I am looking at expanding my horizons with this dollar store stuff to try having dollar store stuff on a more regular basis, but have it not always be soup. And to that end, we have today Columbia Rotini enriched macaroni product. Since 1848, America's first pasta. Makes me wonder if it's first and worst if it's in a dollar store. Or is this yet another brand where I just simply haven't heard of them and they're from another part of the country or something? I don't know. Cooking directions. Nah, we're not going to do that. Bother with that anyways. A. Zorega's Sons Incorporated, Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Copyright 1994. On a thing of pasta that I bought in the year 2013. What do we got here? Let's see. It's a serving size 2 ounces. Servings per container 8. So times 8 on everything here. So again, with the whole thing with carbs, like I said, with the people on the low carb diets often point out to me that nobody ever eats the proper servings of pasta. And that's one of the reasons why we crank ourselves full of carbs so much. We might as well just directly inject carbohydrates into our bloodstream. But I don't know how one would go about doing that. But let's see. Contains wheat, manufacturing facility that uses eggs, because of course there's things like egg noodles. Columbia, the award-winning American pasta. Since in 1893, millions flocked to Chicago for the World's Columbian Exposition. Celebration of the 400th anniversary of Columbus coming to America, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that like the World's Fair or something like that? No. America's first pasta maker was among hundreds of manufacturers exhibiting their products in a competition against America's finest, but only Columbia Macaroni left Chicago with a first prize medallion. Over 100 years later, we're proud to feature the Columbian Exposition medallion on our package. Using the finest ingredients, highest manufacturing standards continues to this day. I don't know. I mean, what room is there for quality or non-quality when it comes to pasta noodles and stuff like that? Other than, you know, does it cloud up the water when you boil it? Stupid stuff like that. So, rotini, not technically spaghetti, but I tend to like more noodly type noodles these days, like rotini or penne. Less messy, you don't have to worry about the stuff sticking together as much and things like that. So what are we going to use for sauce? Well, something else from the dollar store, which represents a very interesting brand combination, and something that I'm guessing is not a permanent fixture in the dollar store, and they maybe only get it when they can. Some stuff in these dollar stores is kind of like that. Del Monte mushroom pasta sauce. Now that's a huge can of pasta sauce here. First of which, mushroom is my favorite flavor of pasta sauce, especially when it has bits of mushrooms in it and stuff like that. I usually, when I'm not living off of dollar store stuff, I'll get the mushroom sauce, the ragu stuff that they sell in the supermarkets if I don't try to make my own or something like that. And yeah, recipes and things like that. What do we have for sodium here? Oh, 18% sodium per serving. Carbs, etc., etc., etc. Ingredients: tomato puree, water. Let's see. Does it say anything about mushrooms? High fructose corn syrup in pasta sauce. Yeah, this is why all those people that are paranoid about high fructose corn syrup are paranoid, because it shows up in all this stuff that isn't necessarily sweet. Here, you wouldn't associate high fructose corn syrup with something like this or mayonnaise or something like that, but this country and these food companies are just so addicted to this stuff. I have no idea why. Natural source of antioxidants, vitamins A and C, and lycopene, which I think helps your skin tone or something like that. 100% natural, no artificial flavors or preservatives. When watching too much C-SPAN. Well, here's the thing. First, this can is way too big. Without a doubt, probably one of the reasons why this is in the dollar store, and I'll bet soup kitchens love this, is that this is a huge can of pasta sauce. And unless you're making like stuff for an entire family or something like that, you're probably not going to use this much sauce in one meal. I know I certainly won't. I'll probably use maybe half of it to make the stuff to make the rotini taste like something. But I've come prepared for that too. Here's a nearly empty jar of wholesome goodness, tomato basil pasta sauce from Rite Aid. As you can see, it's almost completely out, so it'll make for a pretty interesting mix as I mix what's left of this sauce in here after this is done, and then get rid of the can. So whatever's left goes in here, and then when this thing's completely empty, then I'll just keep filling it up, rinsing it out, etc. So this is me being cheap once again. Sadly, I forgot once again, as usual, whenever I go shopping for spaghetti stuff, or pasta stuff, excuse me, I nearly always forget the Parmesan cheese. So I didn't get the dollar store stuff, so we're just going to use Kraft, because I got this stuff sitting around. Anyways, let's make some dollar store spaghetti, quote unquote. Alright, time to cook some stuff up here.
That's a meatball.
Alright, well, I'd say it looks like pasta, or spaghetti, rotini, whatever you want to use for it. Let's take a little taste of this sauce here. Yep. Tastes exactly like my favorite kind of mushroom sauce, except there's no mushroom bits in it, or at least there's very little of it. I was getting this mushroom pasta sauce mixed up with some of the ragu chunky stuff that I've used before. Tastes great though. The thing with Del Monte is I usually associate Del Monte with fruit products like fruit cups and fruit cocktail and things like that. I never thought I didn't even know they made pasta sauce, but yeah. Pretty good stuff. So, the noodles cooked a-okay. The noodles cooked just fine. Let's try some of them, actually, instead of just sitting here filming everything. Dollar store spaghetti, quote-unquote, in 3, 2, 1. Awesome! Awesome, considering it's canned ingredients. This tastes really good. Yeah, well, of course, the thing with spaghetti or pasta or anything of that sort, the supermarkets have this stuff on sale all the time because pasta is basically synonymous with cheap food in lots of places. I mean, when I was in college, the food service that I was at, operating off of their budgets to try and make a profit off of our college's cafeterias, would often push pasta and stuff like that. There would always be tons of easy pasta available to try and keep people away from stuff that would need to be prepared or something like that, like steaks or burgers or hot dogs or anything along those lines, which caused some health problems for some folks that I knew in college right around the time that the Atkins diet first came out, or first went big, but that's another discussion for another day. Fact remains, I can see why the supermarkets sell pasta type stuff a lot at the time, because if they didn't, the dollar stores would give them a serious run for their money. So Del Monte pasta sauce and Columbia rotini, 2 thumbs up. Can't fit 2 thumbs up in there without making it look weird. Whatever. Good stuff. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by, and bon appetit.